Hey everybody, Kenny here. Welcome back to Revisions of Mana playthrough. And as of this session, this is actually the 30th session in the playthrough, I believe. So 30 sessions in, we have all the characters, all the classes, and they're about to start making our way to the final Alm. Final one of the Alms. Once we've done that, once we've unlocked the ability to go and finish all the areas, then we can finally begin my favorite part of all JRPGs, which is getting to completely ignore the story. There's nothing I love more in JRPGs than the moment where I do not have to put up with the JRPG nonsense anymore, and I don't have to talk to anybody, and I don't have to watch any cutscenes, and I don't have to get stopped every 5 minutes. Don't have to listen to little side conversations, and as I've said, I love JRPGs, but man, I hate JRPGs. The genre I love with all the things that I hate. Yeah, funny enough, like the inverse of JRPGs for me are CRPGs. Like CRPGs, I actually love doing all the story and all of the like getting immersed in everything going on.
Ah, that's the stuff. Just feel that sunlight.
It's almost too bright out here after being in the archives for so long.
But CRPGs require such a huge investment of attention that like they are impossible for me to finish. Like every CRPG I've ever played, like I've finished
Something about Delphos and Cerulean.
Any lead could be advantageous. Let us hope.
A love that withstands time, huh? Hina.
like depending on how you define what a CRPG is. Like I finished between like 1 and 15 CRPGs. Like the only like CRPG that is like the like what people consider like, you know, like the textbook definition of CRPG, the only one that I've ever finished is Shadowrun Returns. Like Shadowrun Dragonfall, never finished it. There's a Eternity, never finished it. Pathmaker Kingmaker, never finished it. Wasteland 2, never finished it. Torment Tides of Numenera, never finished it. Like I'm sure there's more that I've played, but like any Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, never finished either one. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, never finished them. Icewind Dale 1 and 2, never finished them. Temple of Elemental Evil, never finished it. What's that 5e1 called? Solasta. Solasta Crown of the Magister, never finished it. There was another 5e1 before it that, well, it was 5e adjacent, wasn't really based on 5e, but what's that area called? Like it's named after like one of the areas in like the Baldur's Gate world, you know, the Grand Realms. or yeah, Sword Coast. Sword Coast Adventures, I think it's called. Okay, never finished that one. The original Planescape Torment, never finished it. Like Steampunk and Magic Obscura. I forget like the actual, like, that's like the subtitle of it, but whatever like the main name of that is. Arcanum. Okay. Arcanum, never finished it. Like I have played so many of those games, and every single one of those games that I've mentioned, I have like 100 hours in. Every single one of those games I have at least like 100 hours in, and I've never finished any of them, because when I play those games, I keep on playing them. Like I start the game up, I get to a point, I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to try it with a main character that's like this now, and then I restart the game as a different main character, and try different dialogue options, and like see how things change based on like the choices that I make, and and so every single one of those games takes me forever to play, so I don't even let myself play those games anymore. Like I have abandoned that entire genre because I know that I can't beat them. Because I just get like so ADHD, like out of my mind, like trying to do everything in every possible way before I even get like halfway through the game. Yep. So JRPGs are my heart, but CRPGs are my soul. Radiant Playhouse Ratio.
Wow. It's like a curtain of light.
It's the Aurora.
Right. I think I remember Shiryu telling me about this phenomenon. I never thought I'd see it in person.
Shiri, who?
None of your business, Jule.
Gee, you were the one who brought him up. Huh?
We thank you all for coming to the Radiant Playhouse Terratio and apologize for the inconvenience. Unfortunately, our scheduled performance of Delafos and Cerulia has been delayed indefinitely.
Hear that? Delafos and Cerulia. Just what we came here to see.
Not good. We've come a long way for a cancelled performance.
There appears to be no appointed Alm of Light. Is that of pertinence to the postponed play?
Well, there have been a few issues with our thespians. We don't know why, but the actors aren't in performative condition at the moment.
Does the show have something to do with naming the Alm?
But of course, we performed this special tale for the fairies coming. Over the course of the production, a spotlight will fall on the one to be named the new Alm of Light. If we cannot perform, it could be the end of the island of Lorimar. A tragedy, I tell you.
We cannot turn a blind eye to their plight. Let us ask the actors how they have been afflicted.
Good idea. Let's go. Better check on the performers and see what's the matter. I hope it's nothing serious.
But if you're wondering what I meant by
Yes!
like like having finished between 1 and like 15, because like
This?
like if you count, like, you know, like, because some people consider games like you know, like I personally consider games like Knights of the Old Republic, the Mass Effect games,
This is kind of exciting. Nice!
what's that game called? That spy game from Obsidian. Alpha Protocol?
Yes!
Like Alpha Protocol, like games like that, like I personally consider games like that CRPGs, but there are people who like, you know, like feel that CRPGs are only like isometric, like a like a isometric type games where like you create a party or a player surrogate character figure design, and that everything is either real time with pause or turn-based. Like some people have very strict ideas of what CRPG is. So to those people, I've only finished one, which is Shadowrun Returns. The people who are more open-minded about it, I finished 15. I should probably talk to these ship people. What do you gotta say, ship person?
Hi.
Additionally, after being appointed, an Alm of Light leads... Oh, sorry. Additionally, after being appointed, the Alm of Light heads to Elistana by boat to convene with the rest of the Alms. Further ado. Big boat. That boat isn't really there. Performances at the Playhouse began as an expression of devotion to the light spirits. But these days, people come from all over the world to see the plays for entertainment. There is a shiver of anticipation running through the audience. Either that, or it's been the climate, or it's because the climate reminds me of Return.
Hey.
The sky here has an ethereal beauty to it, like the spirits of light are watching over Lorimar from on high.
Hey.
Apparently, the aurora above us is only visible here on Lorimar, and shows the light spirits are watching over the stand. It truly is an amazing sight to behold. If you say so.
Hey.
Welcome to Lorimar, the island of the spirits of light. If you're looking for the Radiant Playhouse, Teratio, at the end of this passage.
Yes.
Before I took the throne, my brother and I would attend theatrical performances such as this often. I do love a thrilling tale.
Huh?
They really need to make a big production of the fairy's arrival. I think it's too dramatic. Seriously? You remember what you had to do to make the fairy show up? A house usher. Our thespians can't put on a show and call the fairy. It could be curtains for Lorimar.
Oh.
They already told us that. The island of Lorimar is home to the historic Temple of Wendel. A sacred place for those who worship the spirits of light. Yeah, so Wendel is the name of the high priest from Trials of Mana.
Oh.
Temple of Wendel is located on a mountaintop at the end of a rather perilous trail. No casual hiking trip, that's for sure.
Grizzly! Taking this?
Hey.
Last time I came to the Playhouse was to see the performance of the Goddess of Mana. The child actors they used were simply adorable.
Oh.
A friend of mine couldn't come to see Delphis and Cerulia. They begged me to go see it in their stead and tell them what happens. I can't miss a single detail. If everyone won't come to name the Alm of Light unless the Playhouse gets its act together and starts the show. What's taking them so long?
Let's plan our next move.
Everybody told me the island of Lorimar would be cold, but they were all wrong. It's downright freezing here.
Yeah?
Lorimar has one of the most delicious soups and stews I've ever tried. They're perfect for keeping warm in this kind of climate. Where are you guys from? Like, they don't dress like that in the main character's hometown. They don't dress like that in Karina's hometown. You know, Aetern doesn't exist anymore. Like, there's nobody who's dressed like that in the harbor towns. No one who's dressed like that in the big city. I mean, you know, we found people who dress like this in the big city. That's because they had people from everywhere. Like, there were no actual towns in the Earth, you know, in the Earth place, because Guju was gone. And the people don't dress like this in the library place. Like, the place that would make the most sense for people dressed like this would be, you know, the place where, like, we planted the jack seed, but they darn dress like this there. Where do these people come from? Iophis and the goddess of mana. Iophis and versus the Benevodons. Iophis and his lover.
Yes!
Oh.
Greetings, young soul god. I'm glad to see you and the arms here at the Radiant Playhouse. However, I regret to inform you that the Arm of Light is yet to be chosen.
Grizzly! Taking this?
Nope. Cannot swim under that. Nothing special to get here.
Got some syrup.
I saw the thespians gathering at the playhouse, all with this grim expression on their face. They weren't even acting, yet they still managed to captivate me with a single look. A show that squanders most of its budget on actors is no better than a children's school recital. Music, props, costumes, those are what separate a mediocre play from a great one. That's an opinion. That's definitely an opinion.
Hey.
People have always performed plays for the spirits of light. It's a tradition that dates back to the time of our distant ancestors. Don't mind me, I'm just a small town boy who came to see a show with a faint hope of being chosen as the Arm of Light.
Oh,
There's always a healthy dose of embellishment in plays based on true events, like this year's production, for example. You should never take them at face value. The Playhouse doesn't put on new shows until the one that calls the Fairy is finished. I hope they put on a modern play next. Classics tend to drag on a bit for my liking. What's the holdup? I literally crossed the ocean to come see this play. Gonna move on and start the show already.
Hi.
I'm from a remote village where we hold our own small-scale plays, but they're nothing compared to the productions here. I've always wanted to see professional shows in the actual theater. You are all full of shit. All of you. If anything we've learned about this world is true, then none of you have come from anywhere to be here, you lying assholes. I really like they, and mind you, like once again, this is not the fault of the developers. The developers are participating in, you know, this terrible, awful, more awful bullshit that is the current state of JRPGs. But they aren't responsible for the fact that everyone does this. For whatever reason, these people mean nothing. Like the writers who do this, who write these lines, have nothing to do with the writers who have to do the writing for the actual lore that you are following as the player through the main story. Why is that? I don't know. That's not how it used to be, but at some point, someone decided that they needed a writer for that part, for this stuff, and then a writer for the main story. And they are never on the same side. They're never, you know, they do not communicate. That's just how it is. I don't know why that's how it is, but that's how it is. You know, you're never going to play a JRPG that was made after like 2007, maybe 2009. You'll never play a JRPG made like after that era where they actually respect the foundational lore, or there is foundational lore to be had. You know, like most of these games, I'm pretty sure are made like, you know, like the story is being written. I mind you, like of course the story is written as the game is being made. You know, that's just common sense. You know, if you don't have a game to build on, then why would you waste time writing a story? Doesn't make sense. But like what I mean is that like when they are creating like the main like plot lines for the game, like, you know, there's never like any kind of like Bible. You know, they never like bother establishing, okay, this is what we're working on, this is the story for what we're doing, everyone needs to do this. Well, actually no, that's not true. There is an exception to that. Well, there might be 3 exceptions to that. I haven't played the games to be sure. I can say for certain the Dragon Quest games do honor they always have a world Bible, and they always honor their world Bible. I've never finished any of the Ys or Trails games, or Legend of Heroes games. So I don't know like how faithfully those keep to their internal lore. Like people are, you know, are almost cult-like in their mentality when it comes to like those games having like the best stories in JRPGs. So I assume that they probably follow it pretty well, pretty tightly. But once again, like I do plan on playing all of them on the channel. I'm playing through all the Ys games and all of the Trails games on the channel. But you know, that's not gonna be for a while though. But yeah, but like when it comes to like actually honoring the lore, like, you know, honoring any lore in a JRPG, you're not gonna see it in pretty much any series,
Yes.
any series of JRPGs that exists currently, or you know, that exists after the period that I mentioned. Because prior to that, you know, like there was only one person writing the stories, you know. So everybody was going to be on board with everything because only one person to make those decisions. If you want my opinion, the Radiant Playhouse has failed to produce any half-decent actors recently. I doubt the Fairy will bother coming this year. Getting up on stage is a lot of fun. It's like everyone's attention is focused on me and only me. My son's performing a minor role in the play. He's still a child, you see, but with a little push, he'll be headlining here in Terratio.
Hey,
Motto Martha. Whenever there's a special production at the Playhouse, tourists from all over the world flock to Terratio. It's nice to see the town so lively.
Nah.
Guy gazing Vincent. Monsters from Wendell have wandered into these parts on more than one occasion. Majority of them tend to not cause much trouble, but one in particular is rather mischievous. Alright, so we're gonna have a side quest from him eventually. Like, I'm pretty sure like anyone who has like an actual name is a side quest NPC. Like maybe like, you know, I mean at this point, like I've talked to like every NPC in every town, so
Grizzly!
you know, with the exception of which place was it that like I tried doing it differently and then gave up.
Taking this?
Oh, hey little cactus. What you doing up there?
Look! A cactus!
I couldn't find a good hiding spot. Found me. Where's your next? Alright. Yep. Diary page. Always a diary page. Doesn't need to be a little cutscene thing for it. Yeah, where did I do that? Because after we left the water place, we went to the place with the jack seed. We definitely talked to everybody there. Oh yeah, it was the hippie town. Hippie town was where I didn't talk to everybody. Because they're filthy hippies, and I want nothing to do with it. No, that's not why I didn't do it. It was for other reasons. Wisdom in the gloom. My mind wanders when it's time to go to sleep. Why is Trent so big? Niccolo a cat or a rabbit? Should I have jam or butter on my toast for breakfast tomorrow? How about both? Someone should write a manual to decide these things. Maybe I'll just have a fried egg. Bunches of books. Mountains of books. Be sure to put them back in the proper places once you're done reading. Sometimes I get sleepy after picking up a book and forget to tidy it away. I like to read about blue oozes and chocobos and catfishes. You know, stuff like that. I always have nice dreams on the nights when I do. The spotlight's on me. I've never been fond of cold weather. I was frozen solid once. Can't we stay indoors where it's warm and there are snacks aplenty? Won't someone take pity on this poor cactus? Oh, the tragedy. Huh? But that's what acting feels like. It's kind of fun. Okay. How many of those have we done? Jeez, does it tell us? 11. Okay, so we're up to here. We got the bad one. We have the bad thing. 4 more and we get the bigger discount. Not that discounts matter, but sure.
Let me see. Nice!
Cherry walnut.
Got some syrup.
Hello?
There were many handsome actors around when I was a lass. I think I was smitten by every single one of them.
Yeah?
I didn't pass the auditions to play Dalefish for this year's show. Oh well, I just have to try harder next time.
Must be a lot of stress for the actors to perform in the sacred protection that summons a fairy. The stakes are astronomically high.
Come on.
Looking for something in particular? Well, beyond that gate is a strip of shops. I'd imagine you can find anything you need there.
Yes.
In ages past, people would come from far and wide to visit the Temple of Wendell. The boats back then were small and simple, so the trip must have been a perilous one.
Hello.
Just got off the boat, and boy was it a long and arduous trip. Cold air has been a shock to the system, but the beautiful scenery makes it worth it.
Yes?
Lorimar has some pretty tall mountains. Just came to watch the show, but maybe I can squeeze in some mountain climbing while I'm here. You think I need permission?
Wow!
Oh, you must be a Sogard who's going to take me to the monastery once I become the Alm of Light. Nice to meet you.
Seems like my final chance to be chosen as the Alm of Light. If I get any older, I don't think these bones of mine will be able to handle the trip to the monastery.
Oh,
The people of Lorimar believe that the spectral lights that dance across the sky are the breath of the elemental of light.
Oh,
Been a while since I was last in Lorimar. 4 years, in fact. I never miss watching the Alm of Light get chosen.
Babu, ba-doo-doo-bum. Da baba-doo-bum.
Okay, so nothing new. I'll take your chocolate.
Dub, bubble, da-da. Da-da, goo-goo-da.
welcome. We've got what you need.
Maybe the hammer. Maybe the hammer and the wand. Definitely the Giga Sword.
Would you
Hammer,
like to peruse the ware? Thank you. Would you
wand,
like to peruse? Thank you.
Giga Sword.
Would you like to peruse? Thank you.
Okay.
Come again. Yes. Let me see. Nice.
Just can't get rid of this money.
Yes.
Oh. Tower over there must be extremely old. You get a real sense of history in a sacred place like this.
Let me see. Is this?
Hey there.
This tower is almost like a beacon because of the spirits of light always gather here.
Oh,
Some say this tower was used as a training ground in ancient times, but no one really knows why, or even if that's true. We'll do those areas eventually.
Activate! I'm brimming with power!
Little fox.
Yes!
If you'd like to see the temple, I'd be willing to take you, but only as far as the entrance. Anything past that is too dangerous. I think this is the largest, like, non-combat area that we've been to so far.
Hey!
Beyond the gate is a trail leading to the Temple of Wendell. The area is inhabited by monsters, so it's not a hike I'd recommend. Lady Freud. Children really do grow up fast, don't they? It's almost like they get taller by the day. Just the other day, I bought a new coat for my son, but he's already complaining that it's too short for him. I was going to alter it myself, but when I popped by the store for some jackal pelts, they were all out of stock. Apparently, the Playhouse bought every last scrap to make costumes for an upcoming production. It's not even the first time this has happened. I remember when the Playhouse needed leather. Every shop in town was sold out for weeks. Anyways, you happen to have picked up a few jackal pelts on your travels by any chance? No, I guess not, huh? Well, I don't want to make a big deal of it, but if you do get your hands on some jackal pelts, mind handing any spares over to me?
Hello.
Temple of Wendell is said to be the home of Lumina, the elemental of light.
Oh!
Atop the mountain is the Temple of Wendell, the holy place, and I hear there's an ancient altar up there.
Hi!
Niccolo sent me here to purchase some merchandise for him. As you might expect, a lot of the goods are designed to combat the cold.
Got some syrup!
There's something here. There you are.
This is kinda exciting. A rare item! Let me see. Nice!
Welcome. What will it be? Please stop by again.
Welcome. What will it be? Excellent choice. Thanks a bunch. Excellent choice. Thanks a bunch. Stop by again.
Alright, so everything we can do here. Let's head up to Gates of Wendell, get that nice treasure, then we can do the story.
Taking this? Hey!
I'm on Lormar to see the plays, but since I'm here, thinking I might hike up to the temple for a little pilgrimage of my own.
Yes!
Taking this?
Oh.
The entrance to the temple window is not far from here. The temple itself is strictly off limits, but perhaps I can still receive a blessing from the Spirit of Light if I get close enough.
This is kind of exciting. A rare item!
There are mechanisms on the way to window that require the power of light spirits to activate. Why the islanders rarely ever venture up there.
Taking this? This is kind of exciting. A rare item!
Oh, Moogle. Good. That is good. No Moogle for us. Oh, no Moogle for one person. So we've done everything we can do here. So to the entrance we go.
Where to next?
And the last treasure has got to be in there. Yep, there it is. On the second floor.
Come on.
Welcome to our humble, well, perhaps not so humble, theater, the Radiant Playhouse Ratio. Yeah, we can already see what's going to happen here. Obviously, we're going to confuse that actor right there for being Delphus, and then have a big, violent misunderstanding.
Huh?
Can't be. Telephos?
Why, yes, I will be playing Delphos in this year's show, but please, save the autographs for another time.
I would be honored if he would be amenable to an autograph.
Palomina?
What's this we've been hearing about the actors being unable to perform in their current condition?
Oh, that. You see, I can't remember. I mean, I literally cannot remember what happens in the play, and after so many auditions to land the role.
Why can't you just read the script again? Can't be that hard to memorize your lines.
Would that it were truly so easy, but when I glance at the page, my mind goes blank every time. It wouldn't be so bad if I was the only one afflicted, but oh, the horror! Every single actor is affected. Who knows when we will ever be able to put on another play again? If we cannot produce an Alm of Light, how will we ever face the Mana Goddess? We will be ruined!
Okay, calm down. I can't deal with a Delphos lookalike acting so pitiful.
Forgive me. Oh, I need some fresh air.
Such a shame to have landed a leading part and then be faced with these difficulties. How can we help?
It sounds like this development is recent. Maybe it has something to do with the seal on the Benevodon of Light.
It might. Telephos has been going around messing with the Benevodons after all.
Here's an idea. Why not use the Lumina Lantern on these actors and see if the Elemental of Light can counteract the Benevodon's influence?
With Lumina's power, that might be possible. Try it out on one of those artistes over there.
I almost thought we were talking to the real Telephos for a second. Okay, pull it together, Val. You gotta head to the stage and see to that actor.
Yeah. That wasn't a violent misunderstanding, but it was what I assumed. The scheduled performance of Delphos and Cerulean has been delayed.
Hello.
Playhouse can get quite hectic when the show's about to start and everyone rushes to their seats. Try not to get caught in the stampede.
Okay.
Our next show is starting soon. When the play commences, we ask that you stay quiet and remain in your seats. It's not starting soon. That's the problem, bruh. Everybody knows that.
Hello.
This production is the traditional way of summoning the fairy in Terratio. Too much is at stake for it to just get cancelled. This sacred protection is only shown once every 4 years. But when someone snags a good seat, nothing can persuade them to give it up. How about no production? With a production like this, it's not enough to just learn the script and act like Delphus and Cerulia. You have to become them.
My youth, I was obsessed with being named Elm of Light. I took any opportunity I could to go to the playhouse back then, but nowadays I've learned to appreciate the artistry instead.
I can scarcely believe the esteemed Radiant Playhouse would keep their audience waiting like this. I demand to speak to the manager.
Shouldn't the show be starting soon? We need to select an Elm of Light, or else Dormar will be heading for disaster.
Hello.
I do believe the troop leader is named Cerulia this time. She's still young, but she's already made a name for herself.
Let me see. Is this?
Extra CS. Recover CS with collecting mana. That's terrible. That is terrible. There are nowhere near enough of those elementite things for that to be something to could be relied on.
Hey.
I hopped on a boat to Lorimar after hearing that the show they're putting on this year to summon the fairy was captivating romance. Take it you're the same? Back in my village, the audience is allowed to cheer for the actors on stage. But here in Terratio, once the curtain rises, you have to keep your mouth shut.
Taking this?
People have come to Lorimar from all corners of the world to catch the latest production. Pains me to have to tell them the show has been delayed.
Do you know that the fairy typically selects the Elm of Light from one of the performers on stage? Yeah, so we have all treasures, all elementite.
Everyone bored in Lorimar dreams of becoming a thespian. I've even performed a few times myself, though never in a starring role.
Huh?
My grandson is still a child, but he's mature for his age. He's sure to be selected for the fairy one day.
Hey there.
When I'm older, I want to be the Elm of Light. I'm watching today so I can pick up any hints on how to become one. Talk to you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey.
This is a special performance that only happens once every 4 years. The actors and playhouse staff must really be feeling the pressure. Yeah. So when writers do this, like create like lots of like really benign NPC dialogue, what I'd prefer for everyone to do is, instead of making it that players can choose to walk up and speak to them when the writers know that they're writing like benign, banal dialogue for other NPCs, is to instead take a page out of the Final Fantasy VIII handbook
and just make it that they ambiently have like little, text pop-ups, like as you're like walking around, so you can choose whether or not like there's actually, and instead of having any direct like talking to anybody, like you just make it that all of the dialogue is that, so if someone wants to know like what's going on, they just stand like in a spot where there's a bunch of people and see all the stuff, see all the conversations as they go on until they start cycling through, it makes more sense than the way everyone does. Well, I shouldn't say the way everyone does it, but like when you have this many NPCs, like there are so many NPCs in every town in this game, and sure, like it adds some immersion to like know that you're talking to people who like are meant to feel like they have a place in the world and are able to pass along some knowledge about what's going on. When they're all telling you the same thing, like it stops feeling immersive,
Hey.
I traveled all the way from Elistana. I traveled all the way from Elistana, don't you know? I simply had to see the show where the Alm is selected with my own 2 eyes. What? What do you mean the play is delayed? I'm prepared to wait, but if it doesn't blow me away, I better get a refund.
Oh my.
Here the thespians of the Radiant Playhouse undergo months of strict training before they're allowed on stage. We have high expectations of them. Now's the Lumina Lantern's time to shine.
Hey there.
I want to wait for the show to start. I want to watch it right now. The Troop Leader is my favorite actress ever.
Perfect.
There will be an opportunity to thank thespians for their theatrical prowess at a later date. We must first figure out what is going on.
Oh no.
I personally would have preferred to see the play The Goddess of Mana. Costumes are always lavishly done for that show.
Hello.
Delphis and Cerulia is rather an old play. The Troop Leader is fond of such classics that might explain why she chose it as the performance to summon Fairy this year. I just don't know how to react to a friendly Delphis.
Oh,
These past 4 years, I've been educating myself, watching every performance I could at the Playhouse, and spent days pondering the meaning of truth. I will become Alm of Light this year. In my travels with Niccolo, I saw several small plays in town squares and such, but none were as large of a production as this. Horacio has an impressive setup. I've seen plays performed at the Village Square in Sada before, but the shows here are on a completely different level.
It's no use. I cannot remember a single line. Should we turn the production into a pantomime?
That won't help if we can't recall the plot of the show. You're the troop leader. What now?
The lady they are referring to as the leader has been performing since her youth. I have seen a great many memorable masterpieces by her. My, but you're the convoy of alms. Welcome. I am the leader of this troop. I am also playing the lead in our production of Delafos and Cerulia. I think?
You are. Don't forget how important you are to the play.
My head is spinning. I can't lead anyone when I can't remember what I'm supposed to do. I should quit acting. You cannot. Do not cast away your career. Val, please, the Lumina Lantern.
Right. We think the power of light can help your town. Do you mind if we try something out?
Hold on. my head. I remember something about Delafos and Cerulia. Many years ago, war ravaged the place we know now as Arvit's pasture. Mortal was pitted against mortal in a seemingly endless struggle. That conflict that spanned generations was known as Arvit's War. This is the tale of the one who brought it to its end.
Of course! That was the introduction! Which is all well and good, but I still cannot recall a thing myself. Oh, you must help us! Use your elemental vessel on the other actors and get them to remember their roles! I beg you!
Sure. Where can I find the performers?
They'll be spread out across the island practicing their parts. Find them quickly, please!
The Lumina Lantern sure came in handy. Hopefully it'll have the same effect on all the actors having issues with their parts.
Hey,
You're absolutely terrible making our audience wait this long. Hey, House Usher. Please help us. The show must go on. It just has to. Fairy performer. How could I forget my lines like this? Like that? It's never happened before. Use the visual light to clear the heads of our actors, please.
What was it again? I was Delafos' enemy, right? Or was it his ally?
he looks really torn up about forgetting his part. Get out the lantern already!
My, what a bewitching gleam you have there. It touches me deep within my soul.
The light will help you. Just keep looking at it, okay? That's it. Watch the lantern.
Eureka! I've got it! I finally remember some of what happens in Delafos and Cerulia.
It's all back? You're sure?
You would doubt a professional such as myself? Here's a rendition of my part from the beginning of the play.
Good lord.
Delafos and Cerulia, Act 1. Enter General Delafos, fresh from the battlefield, worn down but still going strong. The warring factions had begun cutting down innocent farmers and their families. Delafos spots our heroine Cerulia as she attempts unsuccessfully to flee. Now, the general was a soldier the likes of which had never been seen before or since. But even a man of his caliber was unable to stop the onslaught.
Why?
Suddenly, an arrow is loosed at the fair maiden. Delafos takes the arrow in her stead, leaving his right arm damaged and immobile. The two manage to escape the battlefield and leave their past behind them. They are the only survivors of that bloody skirmish.
So Delafos saved Cerulia at the cost of his arm. I guess he couldn't fight anymore after that.
Huzzah! I should head backstage and let the troop leader know that I'm ready for my close-up. Thanks for saving my acting career.
He sacrificed his arm for her. That takes courage.
And anyone who happened to catch last session, who thought that I was being too harsh about the current state of JRPGs, like in the way that they over-explain things because they think that the audience is stupid, that is the perfect example of what I was talking about. You have the whole story right there in the hallway, like giving you visual perspective on what it is that's going on. We talk to the people to get like what glimpses we can about what's going on. Then they make us go and talk to each of these actors, who each one is going to be doing a little cutscene to tell us part of the story. And then when this is all done, we're going to come back here and they're probably going to do it all again. All as one big thing right there, because they completely disrespect the intelligence of the audience. And instead of just doing it the one time when you collect them all, they're making you go through it over and over again. And once again, it's not the developer's fault. This is how every modern JRPG is. They're all like this. They're all terribly written for an audience that doesn't exist. Like, they think that they need to make the games so that people who only read books or only watch movies or only watch anime or only watch cartoons or people who don't get their stories from video games, they need to try to replicate all of the ways that they get their stories so that they feel comfortable playing the game and getting the story through the game. Like, they think that those people exist, and I'm sure they do, but the amount of those people that exist, I'm sure, is a very small margin, an incredibly small margin, because I have never met anyone who has gotten into RPGs for that reason, ever. I've never met anyone who's been like, yeah, I started playing RPGs because I liked reading books and I wanted to play a book. No one's ever said that. I've never met anyone who ever said, I like watching movies and I wanted to play a movie and that's why I played RPGs. It's never happened. Like, the audience that they think they're going after by doing this doesn't exist. They're all convinced that they exist. They're all certain that some focus testing they did made it mandatory that they need to do this, but they're wrong. They're all wrong, and it's very easy to know if they're wrong because you just need to ask somebody, anybody. Just ask anybody you know. Oh, do you play RPGs? Do you know what an RPG is? Would you play an RPG? What is a thing that would make you want to play an RPG? What is the thing you enjoy doing that you think would make you want to play an RPG? And like, they don't like because like me, like, I got into RPGs because I liked anime. I liked anime, and the thing that I liked from anime was that in Dragon Ball Z, like, the characters would train and they'd get stronger. And I really liked fighting games. And I liked playing fighting games all the time. And I would just play fighting games for hours and hours, just playing through the same fighting games over and over again, with no intention of actually getting better at the fighting games. I just like playing the games to do all the cool little fireballs and stuff, you know? That was the thing I liked to do when I played fighting games. And then I watched Dragon Ball Z and I was like, man, that's so cool that these are guys who fight all the time and they get stronger by doing it. And then when I gained access to the internet in my early teens, I started getting into emulation and I played Legend of the Super Saiyan. Like, I think at the time there was only like the French ROM hack and the original Japanese ROM. So like, I played that, and that was technically my first RPG. Like my actual first RPG was Super Mario RPG. But I didn't know what RPGs were when I first played that. And there was too much talking and I didn't know what was going on. And I wanted to play a Mario game and it wasn't a Mario game. But Legend of Super Saiyan, even though I couldn't understand what was going on, I like just like moving around and fighting things, and then getting stronger by going around and fighting things. And that's what got me into RPGs. Like people who get into RPGs do not get into RPGs because they think, oh man, this is going to replace some other form of media for me. They get into RPGs because they like other forms of media. And then when they try an RPG, maybe like it'll resonate with them, but they're not going to choose to gravitate towards RPGs because of the fact that they liked some other form of media. Like it's such a weird thing that they do with these games. So weird.
Did I enter from stage right or left? Oh dear, this won't do at all.
Are you part of the acting troupe?
Why are you carrying around a lantern like that? What are you supposed to be? The ghost of Alms and Solgard's past?
I'll leave the role-playing to the professionals, but you should take a good look either way.
Well, I'll be. It's like the haze is cleared from my mind. You have all illuminated my way in the dark.
Why, you're not just saying that, right? How can you be sure?
A fine thing to say. How about I spoil the middle of the play for you? Then will you believe me? Delophos and Cerulia, Act 2. Delophos gains mastery of the Mana Sword. Delophos and Cerulia begin a peaceful life together, away from the devastations of war. Until one day, an emissary of the Mana Goddess comes to Delophos, begging for his help to save the world from chaos. This fairy tells him of great Benevodon monsters brought about by the Mortals' War. Only one strong enough of both heart and body stands a chance against the fiends. Delophos accepts the mission and receives the Sword of Mana. Miraculously, his injured arm is healed and his former strength restored.
Okay. Delophos takes the Mana Sword and goes off to slay the Benevodons. Got it.
Why am I still here prattling on to you? I have to find the troop leader and let her know I'm ready. Thanks, I guess. Bye.
Accepting the goddess's request and her sword. He really was a hero back then.
1 second. And I'm back. Okay. So, got the second one out of the way. Oh, there we go.
The goddess's heroic... No. The goddess's own... Not that either. What is the line?
Mister, you look like you need some help.
Who goes there?
Nobody. Just some theater enthusiast. In fact, the troop leader asked us to ask you to look at this lantern.
The goddess's hero champion! Slayer of all 8 Benevodons! Oh, that's it! What a load off my mind.
Well, well, lucky you. Think you're up to performing the part?
Well, I should rehearse once first before I go back. And stay and listen. Delophos and Cerulia. Act 3. Delophos' epic journey. At the behest of the Mana Goddess, Delophos traveled the world, sword in hand, subduing each and every Benevodon as it appeared in his path. The road was tough, but Delophos persevered. He single-handedly defeated all 8 mighty monsters, earning him a hero's welcome from the people he saved. Delophos was unstoppable for one reason and one alone. A promise made on Entwine Bridge Pass to his beloved Cerulia. Someday, I swear I will return to you. Until that day, I swear I will wait for you.
He traveled the whole world subduing Benevodons alone? We've had a hard enough time in a group.
I'm saved. They can't recast me now, but I better practice some more before curtain call. You have my gratitude.
We're lucky the Lumina lantern works so fast.
There is a bright future for this fellowship of actors yet.
Now that we've gotten the hang of it, let's use the lantern on the troop leader one more time.
Agreed. Back into the theater we go. We gotta get the troop leader to remember her part. She should be on stage. Time to bust out the Lumina lantern one more time.
Okay, let's get this over with.
If it isn't the arms! Thank you for assisting our actors with their warm-ups.
Is everyone accounted for?
Well, there is one minor hiccup. Our troop leader is nowhere to be found. Can you help us search for her?
Oh, this is terrible! Horrifying!
What? Did something happen to our leader?
No, not her! Look at the sky! What is to become of us all?
Huh?
Oh, no! What's going on?
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Take cover here. We'll check it out.
I'll come with you. The show cannot go on without our troop leader. I have to find her.
Stick close to us and don't go looking for trouble.
Okay, so the Delphus actor is the Alm of Light.
No, not the sky. It was so pretty before. Wait a
Why'd he
second.
show up?
Aish? What are you doing here?
My investigations in Lagrazzo have concluded. I did say that I would meet up with you when I was finished, did I not? Please note that I do not bring glad tidings, however. I observed a peculiarly dense concentration of mana power flowing toward none other than the Temple of Wendel. The Temple of Wendel, as I'm sure you know, was once a sacred place of pilgrimage in the days of Fadiel. The elemental power of darkness, namely knowledge, and that of light, the thirst for truth, have always been intertwined. Two halves of the same whole, if you will. For those with knowledge are wont to seek the truth. In the distant past, those learned people sought solace in Wendel.
Informative lecture, but we have other things to worry about. Namely, if that mana power is what I think it is.
Yes, as Julie has undoubtedly inferred, the Benevodon of Light has been released from her seal.
Figures. Always trust your roots.
Benevodon of Light? Oh dear. We must find our leader as soon as possible.
Deilephos? I had not accounted for this.
This gentleman is merely playing the part of the protagonist in Deilephos and Cerulia. But his Cerulia counterpart is nowhere to be found.
I did notice someone wearing peculiarly theatrical clothing wandering off in that direction earlier.
Oh dear. Where could she have been going?
We should go after her.
For a moment, I mistook that man for Deilephos himself. A brilliant costume, that.
Yeah, he got me too. It's a bit of a shock at first.
I mean, so maybe he's not the Alm of Light? Like, I assumed he was going to be the Alm of Light because it seemed like they were setting him up as being the NPC that was going to, like, join us when we went into the outer area. But if Aisha's here, then that wouldn't make sense.
Dear Deilephos, my heart is forever with you. I will wait for you always.
What did she say? I couldn't make it out. Maybe she's rehearsing?
Beloved Deilephos, champion of the goddess and hero to the people. Do not bother with me. I am fine.
She doesn't seem to know what she's doing.
We must keep a weather eye on her whereabouts.
Dear Dalo, forgive them. Be at peace. Be a beacon of hope, my hero.
This reminds me of when Palomino went off on her own in Tata.
How far is our troop leader planning to go? It could be dangerous.
I mean, like, we're literally sprinting. And she is just like wandering aimlessly, dead on her feet. How can she be outpacing us?
Dalo, please, stop.
Wait, don't go that way. Cerulia, you must escape from this battlefield of sorrow. I will sacrifice my arm, my battalion, anything to save you.
Dalo, I will wait for always. Huh? What are you doing?
You were not in your right mind. I only meant to stop you.
Why am I here, of all places?
You don't remember?
There is a chance that your consciousness was corrupted by an outside force. I myself was once overcome in such a way.
Your conversation sounded like lines straight from your play. Was it rehearsed?
No, it was all ad-libbed. I just said what sounded right.
I can't even think straight. Oh, my head.
Hang on. Let's try the Lumina Lantern.
No, nothing. I can't remember.
The glaring light will obscure the boundaries of reality. This is what Lorimar's prophecy of destruction portends. The cause of this amnesia may be linked to the reactivation of the Benevodon of Light, appropriate if the power of the elemental vessel stays the effects somewhat.
Light, like the moon, has power over the mind. If we can defeat the monster, everything should go back to normal.
Sounds like our only option is to stop the Benevodon then.
I shall leave the subjugation of our foe in your capable hands. Rest assured, I will see these performers back to the theater.
How noble. So you don't intend to grill them on this the second they're out of danger?
My, you are smarter than you look. I would be remiss in my duties as a scholar if I didn't document this incident thoroughly.
Let Aish do what he needs to. He's got his own priorities. We have to head to the Temple of Wendell.
My thoughts are with you, even when we are apart, my friends.
Yeah. Be careful.
Alright, so before we head out, just because I keep on forgetting to do this. I've been meaning to switch over to that for a while. Actually, before I do that. I mean, it'd be nice if we didn't need to do this, but we do. $180. Okay, so it's actually that's a ninja move. I see. Stick to that. Yeah. Makes sense to have him do that. Makes him synergize better with how we're using Palomena. Yeah, we'll bring this one back in. Yeah.
Wendell, huh? Here we are. This place has been here since the time of Fadiel, right? The decor does have a certain nostalgia to it.
Was the world really that different back then?
Honestly, Sproutwings and spirits lived in a whole other realm, so I have no idea what you saps were up to. Never crossed my mind. But now I wonder what people hope to gain by coming to places like this. I never cared about that kind of thing in the past. Other people's business was their own.
You've grown a lot over this journey, Jule.
A change of heart isn't a bad thing. My travels as a hired blade were what really opened my eyes to the world around me.
Thanks. I'll try not to let my newfound altruism go to my head.
So you were getting worried.
That's not what I said.
Like the truth seekers of old, our travels have brought us to this temple.
Okay, that's enough self-reflection. We have a Benevodon to defeat.
Right! We have a duty to the actors and to the future Alm of Light.
Temple of Wendell.
Odd that Aish had no interest in observing the Benevodon.
I think he was preoccupied with the actors and what happened to them.
I see. A stranger phenomenon superseding the interest in the first. That does sound like him.
Okay, as soon as we find our save point, I will end the session. Light reflectors. The light rays emitted by the Illumina lantern can be bounced off reflectors and onto a prism to reveal a new path. The orientation of the reflectors can be changed, allowing you to redirect the light to exactly the right spot. Right trigger to activate the mirror, A to move the mirror. Unseen paths. There are platforms that are only visible when they are illuminated by light that is bouncing off a light reflector. If you think you've reached a dead end, don't lose hope. A little reflected light might reveal a path that was hitherto invisible.
Hear us!
Aha! The key is reflecting the light so we can move forward.
This is hard. Val, you do it.
Sure. Time to get more practice in with the elemental vessel.
I have gathered some grizzly syrup.
You'll do no such thing, Val.
Secured.
Not yet. Frozen floors. When walking on icy ground, your character will slip and slide, making them more difficult to control. You can attack or use moves on frozen floors to shatter the ice. This will enable you to walk freely without gliding.
There is something supremely suspicious about the space ahead.
Look what the cat.
Perish!
That's no fun.
Gladly.
Keep them coming.
Our brawl bore fruit. My thanks.
Jackal Pelt.
I failed. I wasn't by her side.
Huh? That voice. Can no one else hear it?
What wondrous wares. I will treasure this.
Luminous lanes. Luminous lanes are mechanisms activated by the Lumina lantern. Press A in front of one to travel along it.
A spirit's strength. To where have we been warped? Might we exchange these elsewhere? Mana! Yeah!
Nice. I pressed the wrong thing.
The spirit's strength. I feel the spirit's favor. I will take this. To where have we been warped?
I should never have gone. I would never have left her side had I known.
Wait, there it is again. Is that voice Delaphos?
I have high hopes.
You're already.
Now's the time! Watch out!
Submit!
Useless to run.
Earthquake!
It's useless to run. Keep them covered.
Surrender! At once!
We've got quite a lot of Lugar. There's no need to be so frugal.
Might we exchange these elsewhere? It is correctly calibrated. It is correctly calibrated.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Might we exchange these elsewhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have gathered some grizzly syrup.
Val, is something wrong? Stopping suddenly and looking around at nothing. I'm here if you need someone to talk to.
Oh, sorry, no. I'm just trying to be extra careful in here. I'm fine.
What wondrous wares! I have found something of fantastic value! Emerge! To where have we been warped?
Yeah. Yeah.
Manifest!
3 more treasures and 2 more elementite
Feel
here.
the spirit's favor. We must brace ourselves for battles more brutal than before.
Delaphos had to travel the whole world to defeat the Benevodons.
All 8 by himself? I can't imagine me and Ramco trying to do the same.
What tricky terrain! Oh, spirit! Submit! Sylphid! Submit! On guard! Gladly!
The elemental vessel is ready.
My thanks,
It's useless to run. I can go another round.
Oh, I see. We gotta use it in order to...
Mana!
Oh. Yeah, we did come from that way. Okay.
To where have we been warped? Monsters! Maintain your focus! Submit! Sylphid! Watch out! Watch out! The insolence! Yes! Sylphid! Appreciate it. Surrender! The ins at once!
Now's the time!
On guard! Our forces made this outcome an obvious one.
Did the spirit realm look like this, Julei?
The spirit realm looked more like Vertius, actually. But there were stone structures like this, too. Brings back memories.
Here! My thanks! Sylphid! Onward! Submit!
I'm freezing!
Keep them coming.
Thunderstorm!
I need you.
At once! The insolence! On guard!
Oh, we might get some use out of this.
It is correctly calibrated. It is correctly calibrated. Activate! I feel the spirit's favor. Secured. I have gathered some grizzly syrup. It is correctly calibrated. What wondrous where could this be?
Is a good one to have.
It is correctly calibrated. It is correctly calibrated. It is correctly calibrated.
I have to fight again?
Self-made boomerang!
Shrivel!
Submit! My thanks!
The frigid cold makes my eyes close of their own accord. My reign ends here.
I'll deal with this.
Appreciated.
Leave it to me!
I have been summoned. Oh, spirits!
Earthquake!
Selfie!
On guard! Give up!
Or what's this lucre used for?
Okay, so that encounter did not help anything.
I have gathered some grizzly syrup.
Oh, okay, it's this here.
It is correctly calibrated.
Here we go. Yep, so this is where we'll pick up next time.
Let us ponder our next plan.
And looks like we are pretty far in. So next time we'll finish up the Temple of Wendell and defeat the Benevolent of Light, and hopefully gain access to the volcano. That is the goal. Wait for this one. Thanks everybody for stopping by and checking out. And the playthrough, appreciate the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Victus, Fires of Damaris, and bye.
We can be at ease here.